All right, so I decided to do this live stream just to test out some of the newer equipment that I've got going on here. This is gonna be a solo playthrough of the Rise of the Keyraken. It is a Keyforge Adventures game, and I'm going to be using the Armed Wallman of the Stronghold deck. This is one of the first decks that I got my hands on when I first started playing this game. So I'm most familiar with these cards. So hopefully I can make it pretty far with this. So the houses that this deck has is Dis. So I'll try to bring this closer to the camera. So there's Dis, and then there's Star Alliance, and then there's Untamed. I'm gonna place that here, and this is where I'll put a bunch of these amber tokens. This is how I track basically my progress in forging these keys. So this game is called Keyforge, and I have to forge these keys, which will help me make the game a little bit easier. But anyway, this is more. It's going to be more of a playthrough than a tutorial. So I'm going to assume, hopefully, you understand some of the basics about the game. Otherwise, I hope you enjoy seeing the gameplay. Maybe if you don't play this already, you'll find that you're interested in learning the game. So I'm going to shuffle this deck, and I'm going to draw 6 cards from my starting hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to put my deck here, and then over here will be my discard pile. Things might be a little tight in this play area, so I'll try to be more compact with all of my cards here. And then we have the Kirakin. So this is the person we're going to be fighting basically throughout this entire game. And it says, once the Keyraken is destroyed, the players win the game. So I'm playing this solo, which means he has a total of 30 health. Otherwise, if it was more than one player, it would be just multiplied by the player number. And then when it fights me, it's going to deal 3 damage. And the important part is that the Keyraken gets +2 armor for each unforged key the active player has. So if I have 3 unforged keys, he'll have 6 armor, which means any attack I do to him, I need to first get through the 6 armor, and then I can start damaging him directly. So that's something to keep in mind. I'll put his card there. And he also does get these amber tokens as well. And that's how he advances in defeating me. And he has essentially he has to advance 4 times. And so I'm keeping track of it with these Keyforge tokens. This is a Dark Tidings related kind of set. So we have the low tide, and then we have the high tide. And those do matter in the game. It starts off as low tide, so I'll leave that here, low tide. I can switch it to high tide if I want to spend 2 of my amber that I collect here. So I have to decide if I want to use it to raise this tide or use it to forge my keys. So we'll see how that goes depending on how the game progresses. And then the rest of the cards are the adventure cards. So they're going to be a mix of artifacts, action cards, and creatures. So we'll see a bunch of them come out. So I'm going to shuffle this up. I do pre-shuffle these pretty much after each game, so it should be pretty well shuffled. And I'm going to be playing on the normal difficulty, which means every round, when the Keyraken gets to go, he'll draw 2 and perform each of those actions on those cards. So I'll put the deck here and leave room for the discard here. You know what? To save room, I think I'm going to put the discard a little further off the board. So I'll just leave the deck here, and then the discard will be kind of off screen. Okay, so I think that's the setup. I have my 6 cards, and each turn I will declare the house I play, which means those are the only cards I will play. Some of them have special abilities that allow me to play other houses, but typically you would just play the house that you declare, and you can't play the other cards till possibly the next turn when you decide to use that house. So I think for my first turn, it will make most sense for me to play Star Alliance. So I have 3 of them, and I'll place Explo Rover, and this has 3 attack, 0 armor, has skirmish, and it can be played as an upgrade instead of a creature, but I will be playing as a creature, so it comes in exhausted. And then I have Cloaking Dongle. This is an upgrade, and as you can see from this icon here, this is a bonus icon, so that means I actually gain whatever is shown there, so I gain one of these amber tokens. So I'll place this on the Explo Rover so that it also will have elusive, which means that the first time this creature is attacked each turn, no damage is dealt. And then I'm going to play Transporter Platform. It's an artifact. So this action that's listed below doesn't mean that it happens now. It happens after this becomes ready. So it comes in exhausted just like a creature does. And the action on the card resolves once the card is ready and available to be used. So again, this has a bonus icon, so I'm going to take an amber. And this comes in exhausted. I'll put my artifacts kind of on the bottom right. And then those are my Star Alliance cards. So I'm going to ready my new cards and draw up to 6. Okay. And then we have the Kirakin. He gets to check if he will advance, and to advance, he would have needed 3 of the amber tokens. He has none starting off, so we're okay to go to the next step of his turn, which is to draw from the adventure deck. And I like to draw all the cards at once. So we have the Crimson Churning, and he unfortunately also has a bonus icon here on the top left. And so that means he will get an amber token. And it says action, and it immediately has an effect, and it says once played, deal 1 damage to each of your creatures. If the tide is high, the Keyraken archives 1 adventure card. So I mentioned earlier that we have low tide, high tide. We actually start with low tide. So we don't have to archive the adventure card. Archiving just means we have to take one off the deck and put it face down so that the next time it's his turn, he has to do the archived cards actions first, and then he draws the next 2 for the adventure. So luckily we don't have to do that this time. So we just have to deal 1 damage to each of my creatures. So what's interesting is the wording here says, it literally says deal 1 damage to each of your creatures. So it's talking to me, knowing I'm the one reading the card. So I'm going to discard this and give myself 1 damage token. So Explo Rover has 1 damage. Once it gets 2 more damage, that means it gets destroyed. So now we see the second card that we drew from the adventure deck, the Tenacious Arm. It has Reap. The Keyraken steals 1 amber from you. When destroyed, deal 3 damage to the Keyraken, ignoring armor. So this is one of the most important ways to really attack the Keyraken. If I attack and destroy this Tenacious Arm, then I actually can damage the Keyraken, ignoring all the armor that I had mentioned before, where now I still have 3 unforged keys, so it has 6 armor, but this will ignore it. So the creature stays out. Essentially, it comes out exhausted like it does for me. So now we go through playing all the cards from basically left to right, in the sense that now the Keyraken gets to reap, and reaping means he gets to gain an amber. Sometimes there are additional reap effects, but there's nothing currently in place for him to do anything else. And then this one, Tenacious Arm, will get to reap on its next turn. So now it's back to me. So I think I'll play Star Alliance again. Pretty lucky that I had 2 zaps in my hand. So both of them give me an amber, as you can see from that icon. And then the action says play, deal 1 damage to your creature for each house represented. So I'm going to play that card. I gain an amber. I have 3 now. And then I deal one to a creature for each house represented. So this is the creature I want to attack. And right now there are 2 houses. There's the house of the Kirakin, and then there's the Star Alliance house. So that's 2 damage to this creature. And all it needs is 1 more to be destroyed. So this number on the left is red. So that means it will need to be destroyed with 1 more damage. So I'm going to place this in my discard. And then I'm going to play another zap. And it looks like I'm a little bit out of focus right now. So I'm going to try to fix it. There we go, I think. It's still a little blurry. Let me just see. Is that better? It's not refocusing though when I come back down. But anyway, I'll continue for now. Hopefully it'll fix itself. So again, we have Zap. I gain an amber, and it goes onto my my card here. And then we have deal 1 to a creature. So again, it's 2 houses, so that's 2 damage. And so this will then have a total of 4 damage on it. So that means this is destroyed. And then when it's destroyed, we deal 3 damage to the Keyraken. So I put this 3 damage token on the Keyraken. And then I'll discard this. So that's all I'll do from my hand. But I do have this creature that I want to attack with. But I don't think it will make sense because I only have 3 attack. And the Kirakin's the only thing I can attack at this time, and it has 6 armor. So I'll just reap with this. So gain another amber, and then I have this transporter platform. So this one is an artifact. So I could use this action to return a friendly creature and each upgrade attached to it to my hand. I don't think I'll do that. So I'll just leave this kind of just sitting here until I need it, if I never need it in this game right now. So I'll ready my played cards and then draw up to 6. Okay, and now the Keyraken gets to go. I have to check to see if it will advance. It would have needed a total of 3 amber to advance. So he's 1 short. So maybe next turn he'll be able to. So now we will do the 2 adventure cards. And this one says, Beast of Dark Legend. The Keyraken gains 1 amber for each of your unforged keys. If the tide is high, the Keyraken archives 1 adventure card. So that's what the card looks like. And then I will give the Keyraken 3 amber because that's how many unforged keys I have. So he has 5. Then we don't have to worry about the rest. And then the second one is Ascending Jet. This is an artifact, so I don't have to worry about what it says on the card yet. But what it does say is that action, give the Keyraken's creature with the lowest power 3+1 power counters. If the creature has 9 or more power, destroy Ascending Jet and lower the tide. So this will stay out until a creature has 9 or more power. So at this time, we'll reap with the Keyraken. So he'll also just gain 1. And then that's it for his turn. He has 6 amber. So that's going to be an issue for the next time he goes. Let's see. So I have a lot of Dis house cards. Just don't know if it makes sense to use them. So let me just see. I might just be better off playing with with this and then just discarding some of these out to clear my hand a little bit for better cards. So I have here the Harbinger of Doom, destroyed, destroy each creature. So this is going to clear my entire battlefield area along with the creatures that the Keyraken might have. So it's not bad, but if I have any good creatures out, I have to just know that those creatures will be destroyed as well. So I'll take the chance of playing this right now. It has 3 armor and 2 power, so exhaust that as it comes in. And then we have Hysteria. It's an action. When I play it, return each creature to its owner's hand. I don't think I'm going to do that, so I'm just going to discard it actually. So it's not going to take up space in my hand. And then we have Buzzle. It's a creature. It has 3 power, has Skirmish, and Skirmish means when you use this creature to fight, it is dealt no damage in return. And then its play or fight ability, you may purge one of Buzzle's neighbors. If you do, ready Buzzle. So that's basically sacrificing one of its neighbors so that I can reuse this creature to either fight or reap. And when you place down creatures into your, I'm going to call it battlefield, but there might be another term for it. When you place them into your battlefield, you need to put it either to the right or left of what's existing. So I'm just going to place it to the right. I personally never really have much of a strategy when it comes to these things, unless the abilities in on the card say something that affects the neighbors. So at this point, I'm just going to just fill it from left to right. So that comes in exhausted as a creature. And then we have Draining Touch. And this one has a play ability, destroy a creature with no amber on it. This might be useful because I could destroy a upcoming creature that Kirakin has with no amber on it. So I'm going to keep this in my hand. And then I'm going to ready these cards and draw up. Cool. Okay, so definitely we have to check to see if the Keyraken advances. Like I said, he just needs 3 amber to advance. He has 6, so unfortunately he does advance 1 time. So we'll take the 3 amber and put it back into the supply, and then we'll flip one of these keys to the color side to mark that he has advanced once. So then moving along to drawing the adventure deck, we'll draw the first card and the second card. So this card has the bonus icon here, so that means it gains 1 amber. And then this is a action. It says discard your hand and draw 4 cards. So I'll just go ahead and do that. Discard my hand and then draw 4. So that's not good for me. Usually I would have 6 cards to choose from, but this time I just have 4 on my next turn. And then we have a creature that came out. This has 3 power and it has elusive. And when it reaps, if the tide is low, the Keyraken archives 1 adventure card. And again, when this is destroyed, the Keyraken is damaged with 3, ignoring armor. So this is pretty powerful. So this comes in exhausted. And then we'll start from the left to the right. And so the Keyraken reaps. He'll gain an amber. He has 5. And then we have Ascending Jet. So this time the action does take place. And it says, give the Keyraken's creature with the lowest power 3+1 power counters. If that creature has 9 or more power, destroy Ascending Jet and lower the tide. So we only have 1 creature, so we're just going to add those 3 power counters to this creature. And this stays in play until it has +9, which it doesn't. All right, so we'll ready that, and then we'll go and take my turn. We have Star Alliance, Dis, and 1 Untamed. So Star Alliance has the advantage that it has this really powerful creature with 4 power. Otherwise, I don't know. I think I might just go for I was thinking of doing this because I would get an amber, and it's called 3 Fates. And once I play, I could destroy the 3 most powerful creatures. So that means my Explore Rover would be destroyed. Over here, my Buzzle would be destroyed. And then the Slippery Arm would be destroyed. So I think I'll go and take that chance. Only because this has 6 attack, 6 power. And I don't know. I don't like the fact that if I do attack this, it's going to kill me anyway. So I think I'll play this. And so we have to gain 1 amber. So now I have 6. If all goes well, I can probably forge a key next turn. And then I get to destroy the 3 most powerful creatures. So that's this. Buzzle. And then Slippery Arm. And then when this is destroyed, it will cause the Kirakin to get hit with 3 damage. So that's all I can do. I will reap with my Harbinger of Doom. And then ready the cards and draw up to 6. So unfortunately, I couldn't do anything much. Well, I probably could have raised the tide, because when you raise the tide, that means they would need he would need 6 amber to advance. But since I didn't do that, he still just requires the 3. So I'll take the 3 and then flip over one of his keys. So he's halfway to kind of beating me at this point. So right now we'll draw the 2 cards. And the first one is Defend the Keyraken. He gains 1 amber. And then it says ward the Keyraken and each of its creatures. So right now it doesn't have any creatures out. So it's just going to be warding the Keyraken. So warding means he's pretty invincible for the most part. But once he's hit, or I think once he's damaged, this gets removed instead of applying the damage. So the second card is the creature. So luckily we didn't have this out before the Defend the Kirakin action card. Otherwise, this would have been warded. But anyway, this is the second adventure card out. It has 3 power. We saw this before. It's the Tenacious Arm. So yeah, it's going to just come in exhausted. And then we'll go from left to right. Keyraken reaps. And then we have Ascending Jet is going to add 3 power counters to the creature with the lowest power. So that is Tenacious Arm, which is the only creature. And then we'll ready this. Back to me, and I actually do get to forge my key because I have 7 amber. So now let's see what I want to do. So it looks like it'll be best if I use my star lines, because then I could get 2 creatures out. And Red Alert. I don't think I'll probably just discard this, because Red Alert says if there are more enemy creatures than friendly creatures, deal damage to each enemy creature equal to the difference. So it's not likely the Kirakin will have more creatures than me. So I think I'll discard Red Alert and just play these 2 creatures. So Helmsman Spears has 2 power. Comes in exhausted. Information Officer Gray has 4 power. And when I play, I can reveal a non-Star Alliance card from my hand, and if I do, I can archive it. So one of these cards I can archive, which means it's just placed face down, kind of next to my deck, and I can decide to use that card the next time I play the house that belongs to that card. So let's see. I think I'll put down Pose Pixies. Not sure the strategy behind that, but that's what I'll do. And Star Alliance. I could use this artifact since I'm using Star Alliance this turn. It says return a friendly creature and each upgrade attached to it to your hand. So I don't think I'm going to do that. Okay. Drawing up to 6. And then we have the Kirakin. He does advance. He has a total of 4 amber, so I took away 3. So he's advanced 3 out of the 4 times before he can win the game. And now I will draw his 2 cards. So this first one is Devour Whole. We saw this before, I think. For the remainder of the turn, no, I don't think we saw this. This is a new one. This game. For the remainder of the turn, the Keyraken gains skirmish and prey, the least powerful creature. It fights, then readies, meaning it will fight again when it's used. So that's what the card looks like. And then it's going to fight my least powerful creature. So that means it's the there's a couple of them actually. There's going to be Harbinger of Doom with 2 power and Hellsman Spears with 2 power. So I get to decide which one. And I think I will go for the Hellsman Spears. So it's going to hit me with 3 power because that's what the Keyraken does when it fights. And at this moment, this doesn't do damage back because it has skirmish. But also, if it did, it would just hit the armor, which doesn't do anything. And then essentially, Keyraken would have exhausted because he fought, but this card says he ready, so I'll just leave that there as a reminder that he will fight again when he would normally reap at the end of the turn. And then the second card is Tied Down. It has a amber icon here, so it gains 1. And the action for this says put one of your creatures on the bottom of your deck. If the tide is high, the Keyraken archives 1 Avenger card. The tide is still low. I never raised it, so I just had to put one of my creatures on the bottom of my deck. So that's going to be Harbinger of Doom. I'll put that on the bottom of my deck. Okay, so now we'll go. Normally the Keyraken would reap, but again, we have Devour Whole, which says it actually fights the least powerful creature. So it's going to fight this one, and it's only going to give the 3 damage. And luckily, this has 4 power, so it survives. And when this survives a fight, no, actually, I don't think the fight ability resolves right now when it's the other person's turn, if I remember correctly. So I'll leave that there. And the Kirakin doesn't take any damage itself either because it would have just given 4 damage to the Kirakin, but it has 4 armor. So we'll leave that. And then we have Ascending Jet. It's going to add 3 power to the least powerful creature. So there's only one option here. So now it has 9 power, which means Ascending Jet does get destroyed. So I'm going to move this into the discard pile. And then we have Tenacious Arm. It reaps. So when it reaps, it goes just straight to the Keyraken's pile of amber. And when it reaps, the Keyraken steals 1 from me. So it's going to steal the only amber I have. And now it has 4. Okay, so let's see what I'll do this turn. This doesn't look like I'm going to be winning, but that's okay, as long as I'm having fun, right? So we have 2 untamed creatures, which might be the best bet here. This is probably going to be my last turn. So let's see what else I have. I think so. Trying to decide between Star Alliance and Untamed. I think Untamed will probably be the best thing to do here. So I have Molefin. Has Hazardous 3, which means before this creature is attacked, deal 3 damage to the attacking enemy. And then after Amber is stolen from me, deal 1 damage to each enemy creature for each of the Amber that was stolen. So put that out. And then we have Panpaka Jaga. And this one has Skirmish. And it says creatures to the left of Panpaka Jaga in the battle line gain Skirmish. So these 2 creatures will end up having Skirmish. So that comes in exhausted. And then those are all my untamed cards that I can play. And then, so these ready. Unfortunately, this is definitely my last turn. So 5, 6. Actually, what was in my... So I actually could have played Pose Pixies. I totally forgot I had a archived card. So this one actually has Elusive. It would have been a creature that I could have put out on my board. And it has Elusive. And basically, if Amber was stolen or captured from my pool, it's taken from the common supply instead. So it looks like I'm a little bit out of focus right now, but hoping it refocuses like it did before. So I missed a chance to use this. And it is now the Kirakin's turn. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So that means it does advance for the final time. And so I've been defeated by the Keyraken. As you can see, it's a pretty difficult game to play solo. There is an easier variant where you actually just draw 1 card from the adventure deck instead of 2 and resolve that. And I probably could have made better use of this Tide card. I could have paid 2 Amber and raised the Tide. And that would help make it a little bit harder or prolong the game a little bit. Because then the Keyraken would need 6 Amber to advance instead of the 3. But I did do a total of 6 damage, which is not terrible, I guess. At least I did something there. But yeah, this is Keyforge Adventures. This is a game I've recently gotten into. I like it because it kind of reminds me of Magic the Gathering, which I did play a little bit of. But you don't really have much of the issue with like the mana, not getting the right type of mana to play the cards you have in your hand. This is a lot easier because you could play what's in your hand as long as it belongs to the house that you declare at the beginning of the turn. And overall, the mechanics are very easy to follow. The cards are very descriptive, and it tells you exactly what you need to know to play the cards. And then, of course, there's always the rule book if you have any questions there. But yeah, that was a quick game of Keyforge Adventures. Just wanted to test out how everything worked out. It looks like the focus kind of came in and out with the video. Hopefully I could fix that next time. But hopefully also the audio was clear. So thanks for joining, and I'll see you guys next time.